How do you deal with stage fright? Mm. Number one, as far as dealing with stage fright, number one, you have to accept that it doesn't go away. I was just telling my son this, and he just turned 10, and he had to do some type of public speaking. Maybe it was a book report or something. And I was explaining to him, I was like, I get nervous every time I need to get on stage. And doesn't matter if it's a small stage, big stage, doesn't matter if it's for TED or one of the local organizations, I still get this thing in the pit of my stomach. So it's a matter of working with that fear, that fright. And as I said on a recent episode, the ongoing joke, at least when I was growing up, is that the survey says people rather be dead, or sorry, people are more afraid of public speaking than they were of death. And I'm thinking of like a Jerry Seinfeld joke, but that was more my generation. Holler in the comments if you remember that conversation, because that was a meme for several years before memes really even existed. The thing is, and what made it pivotal for me, because I'm naturally an introvert, one of those people where I could be on a desert island and I'm cool. I love people, but I like myself a lot too. What helped me along the way, if you're dealing with stage fright, is to number one, realize that in most cases, the people are rooting for you. So if you get paid to do a speaking engagement, if someone asks you to do a toast at their wedding, anything like that, if someone asks you to stand up and say something, at least one person thinks that whatever you have to say will be valuable. So you don't need to win over the room. You don't need to fight them. You just need to express it. Now, I have an ex who's a comedian. She was in a different, different echelon, so she was doing some other stuff. So sometimes it is tough with that audience. But even in that case, if you're a comedian and people pay to cover or they're paying for drinks or whatever, you're actually serving them, and they want you to win because they want to laugh. Now, whether they laugh at your expense or not, that's really up to your skill. But they came there to laugh. They want to have a good time. So if you can provide them with a good time, then they'll be happy with it. Same thing with any type of speaking engagement. So realize that most of the cases, the people in the audience are actually rooting for you. If they paid money to come see you, if they drove from another state to come see you, if they came again to this wedding or this event, then whatever you're bringing, they already know it has some type of value. Otherwise, they wouldn't have showed up. Keep that in mind if you're feeling a little bit insecure about it, and realize that no matter what stages you get to, no matter how much you get paid, there's that thing is always going to be there. And it's our job to get through that insecurity. And that's okay because literally everybody deals with that. Everyone I know, at least. Yeah. Give a shout in the comments if you're not one of those people. I would love to meet you. Everybody that I know deals with that in some form or another. Getting your first TED Talk, a beginner's guide. A lot of the work that I do for a group called Heroic Public Speaking, their links are below, as well as some of the behind the scenes stuff that I've done for the different TED groups across the country and even for the main TED. I try to take a lot of that insight and that discussion and put it to use and help y'all get to where you need to go. This highlights a few of the most popular episodes where I talk about public speaking. And for a lot of people that I coach, they're trying to figure out what their first TED Talk is going to be. That's kind of their kind of like getting a first book published. It's kind of their echelon for them. This will help you get on your way. Again, I've done the the second stage of TED at the main TED up in Vancouver, and then done 3 TEDx's, one for TEDx Jackson, shout out to Mississippi, and then 2 for TEDx Toledo, shout out to Will and the rest of the crew over there. There's a certain process and a certain system that you can follow. This will help you get on your way. And if you want to hear it from the horse's mouth, hear from Chris Anderson. He is the leader of TED, at least one of the leaders at this point, but led TED to kind of its great ascension over the last 15 years. This book came out, you can tell it's dusty. This book came out probably about 5-6 years ago. And it's a really good, simple primer as far as public speaking and what goes into, again, specifically a TED Talk. They also talk a little bit about stage fright, if I remember correctly. So be sure and check it out. Really simple book, really straightforward. It's a good book to have on your shelf. if you're trying to understand public speaking more.